What's up everyone, my name is BinBadabaz and this is Planet Coaster. So a lot of people have been asking me to post this game up, so here's my first attempt at trying it. Through this video will show you on how to plan where I go from, say, like a mistake or something, and how I actually build a roller coaster. For those of you that have watched my previous video of Planet Coaster, you'll see my roller coaster called Poltergeist. So on that roller coaster I spent about 2.5 weeks building. Fortunately this one only took me probably about half an hour, 40 minutes. And then I spent probably another about a week and a half, maybe about a week doing the scenery for it. So this is going to be a new series where I'm actually starting off with this one and showing you how to build a roller coaster, and then in the next video what I'll do is show what type of area I'll start planning. So I think for this one I'm going to actually start planning more of a old-fashioned area, more of a family friendly area, so some rides and stuff like that, just something nice, lots of flowers, greenery and stuff like that. So what I'll do first, I'll actually play you what the roller coaster looks like. So like I said, this case is a bit more simple, it's a bit more laid back, a bit more chill. But if you want to see something more bigger, faster, twistier, then let me know in the comments below. Like I said, I'm going to be making this a series. I'm going to do a couple of live streams. I'm actually building a park. And I will keep you updated on the other park that I'm building. I have like about 4 parks that I'm building. I always have different ideas, and I'll post them up weekly. So let's get into actually building a roller coaster. So the first part that I like to do is trying to figure out where I want to start. So this one I'm going to start off with a wooden roller coaster. So with a wooden roller coaster I like to go up with a little height in it first. The reason why is like it to run off down the hill into a lift hill to make it a bit more realistic, like a real wooden roller coaster. So if I just shorten this a little bit, so you watch YouTube channels and they go on about, oh, use the 4x4 rule, the 4x4 rule, which is basically use 4 meter segments like this and do all this, blah 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 blah. But I figured out that sometimes that's not the best idea. I think the best idea is just do what you think will be the smoothest. Because I figured out that when you use the 4 rule, is when you come around a corner and it's at different angles and stuff like that, it kind of makes it jagged and it's not as smooth as you want to be. Even you do all the smoothing in the world, when you finish the actual coaster, it doesn't feel realistic. So I like to play with stuff and see what works. So for this one, what I'm going to do is actually delete that one, make this probably about 8 meters, and then bring it down. I'm going to turn off snap angle, do that there, and I bring it back up. Let's go to the left, bank it to the left, and then we'll give it a good turn. So now I'm going to straighten it up. Put in a friction brake, say about 10 miles an hour. That's roughly what I'm going to do my lift on that. I'm going to start putting my lift on it. I'm going to have to start with a little bit longer at the start, just to make it a little smoother so it doesn't ruin your G-forces. So do about there. And then we can shorten it up a bit, and then we can do a bit steeper. So let's do it to about, there, about 41. So now what I'm going to do is actually bring this down, shorten it up, and then start bringing it down, so it's like a little kick off the actual lift hill. So it gives you a bit of speed if you want to go like around a corner, then down, or something like that. But what I'm going to actually do is just go straight into the drop hill. And I'm going to bank it to the left. A little bit steeper. I'm going to say about there. That's what I'm comfortable. I think that the characteristics of a wooden roller coaster, the main thing that you want to do is, if you watch a video on YouTube, like a POV of any roller coaster, it kind of dips and weaves within itself. Think of like a knitting pattern, it kind of like weaves within its own track. So this is why I'm doing this. So now what I want to do is start straightening it up. So let's put that to there. Start bringing it up. I'm going to extend this just a little bit. It's a bit more smoother. And a bit more again. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect, because when it comes to the end of the roller coaster, anyway, after you're built, I do suggest go around the whole roller coaster, take a sec, like a part by part, and just smooth it out. It helps it to run a little bit better, helps with your stats, and it actually makes the roller coaster look a bit more realistic. So now what I'll do, I'll straighten up my tone. And I think what I'm going to do is actually do a little helix back in, and then I might do a little bunny hill over here somewhere, maybe. Or as to say, camel's back or camel's hump or whatever. So if I go like this again, I should delete that, and I go that, and do a bit more of a bank. Shorten this up a bit, make it a bit more of a steep turn to about there. And what I'm going to do is start straightening it up again. So about there. Now, what I'm going to do is bring it up. And what I'm actually going to do is stretch it out a bit more, say about 14, and then start doing the start of my bunny hill, or camel's hump. Everyone has their own name for it. So I'm going to actually shorten it up a bit and make it a little bit more steeper. Say about 40 meters, that should be okay. So then we'll extend it a bit and start bringing it down. So I always like to do this part steep and then run it off smoother, because it helps your results in the long run. If you start going up and then all up and down, up and down, up and down, really sharp, it ruins this. When it comes to trying to sort it out at the end, it's a pain. So that's why I like to do that, because when it comes to smoothing anyway, this will actually smooth out a bit more, and it will actually help with your results. So now let's bring this down a bit. We'll start straightening it out. I don't want to clash, so let's bring it back, shorten it to about there, and then let's do a up helix to the right. So an up helix is literally the same principle as this and as this turn here. So you want to start off probably at 8 meters. Now I like to start off with my bank first. It helps to feel a lot smoother. Because when it comes to these helixes here, what happens is instead of if I did it as part now, and I'll straighten this out. What happens is when you put like a helix here, let's say we're going right, this actually ends up being a bit too sharp. So I'd like to make my own. Sometimes I use in-game vanilla rolls and loops and stuff because sometimes they look quite cool. And sometimes when you do it on your own, it doesn't work the same. So anyway, let's start with this helix. So let's do 8. Let's build this one. Let's do 8. So now I'm going to start my bank, and I'm going to start my turn, and a slow lift up about there. And now here, what I'm going to do is straighten it out. So after a helix, I always like to put a little like airtime here, because airtime is the main influence on a wooden roller coaster, especially in this game anyway, where it helps with these stats. You don't want too much, but you don't want nothing, otherwise people are not going to ride it. So we put say like that in, and then what we'll do, we'll bring it back down like this. Get some speed back into the train. And then, this other thing. So now we've got all this space here. So I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll actually test the road. Let's have a look what it looks like. So as I can see there, what I've actually forgot to do is speed up the lift hill. So I'm going to do that about 10 miles an hour. That'll help with the final speeds of the whole track. So what I'm actually going to do is actually shorten down this helix a bit. After I've tested it, so it's a little bit too slow. It drags on a little bit. So we'll make it a little bit more sharper. So something like that. Turn a bit more. Let's say we do about that. I'll tell you what, we're going to do something different. So I'm actually going to continue this helix, but then I'm actually going to come back down and do a helix down to the left, back under the track to lead me back over this way. So let's see how this works. Straighten this out. We'll straighten this out here, but it will extend it just a tad, and then we'll do that. Bring it to the left, and then we'll bring it down. So I'm actually going to go to the ground just a little bit here. And then, So now what I'm doing here is actually building, from what I see, that could work. So like I said, normally my starting points are, I'll figure out how I want my left hill to look and how my drop looks and where I want my station. But then when I actually come to building Verticos, my ideas change all the time. Because I like to see how things work. So now that we've done that, I think what we'll do is actually straighten it up a little bit. And then we're going to build it. We're going to put another hill here. Let's just start off with a bit of a straight. Sorry, let's start off with a bit more length in your track, just to help it to smooth that a little bit more. Down. Bring it up. Bring it down. We'll bring it back down. And then we'll... Let's just say we will go... Let's go to the right. So if I say do... Bank to the right, bring it up a little bit more. Bit more of a bank on that. And I'll make this a bit more of a sharp turn. And then what we'll do is start straight up. Well, I think what we can actually do here is let's put a little left on hill there. Let's straighten that out a bit. And let's see how that works. Let's just get it going. So I can see from my test that that doesn't work. So this is mistake number one. What I've done here is actually gone past this part where I should have tested it and see where the speed goes. So what I'm going to do is actually go back. To about here, and I'm actually going to make this a bit more steeper now. Let's give that straighten up a bit. That down. Give the coaster a bit more speed. If you're not confident in going underground, I also try and build a bit higher from your starting point. So we'll now start to bring it up. Straighten it out. So we'll go from this side instead. So see what I mean? Like how my ideas change within actually building on roller coasters. So hopefully this little drop here will give a bit more speed to the coaster. We'll build a nice airtime hill there. And then what we'll do is bring around to the left, put a bit more speed in it. Give it a bit more of a turn. And then, let's give that a test. Let's see if this works. So as you can see, I'm still not getting the speed that I want. I'll roughly get, say, about 45 to 50 here. Because a wooden roller coaster is a bit more speed, a bit more airtime than it is in other roller coasters. So let's change the speed of the lift hill. So knock this to about 14. Then change the lift hill speed to 14, that's perfect. And we'll see how that goes. Ah, I paused it. My bad. So I saw that at the import, I'm still getting around about 40. But let's see where we can actually shave some of that off. I'll tell you what, we'll come back to it. We'll come back, we'll have a look after it's smoothed it. If I don't feel comfortable with it, we'll come back and rearrange it and see what we can do. So let's bring this back around to the right now. Get up. Straighten this out. What I'm going to do, I'm actually going to finish this here. Just for the sake of simplicity. So if I just click autocomplete, that should get us back to the station. So what I'm actually going to do before testing it, what I'm actually do before testing it is I'm actually going to go through the whole track and start smoothing and see if it improves my speed. We'll start from here, and I'm going to go around to say where that friction brake section is. There, I'll click it about 8 to 10 times depending on how much it needs. Yep, I'm happy with that. So I never do the brake sections or the lift hill, just because they don't need it. I will start from the drop and I will go to the bottom there. I'll smooth that out. And then I'll take that part and go around to about there. And then I'll go from that part to there. So now what I'll do, I'll just speed it up to the end and then we'll go for the test. So now that I've done that, what I'm actually thinking of doing is cutting the amount of cars in my train. So I'm going to click down, go to operations, let's knock it down to about, let's say 8. So now what we'll do, we give it a test and let's see how this looks. So there, as you see, I have a problem. So I'm actually going to go into the build mode. Delete that. Nope. And build that one. I'm actually going to shorten this down just a little tad. And then bring it like that. And that should bring us back. Let's have a look. Ah, there we go, look at that. So our stats are actually quite good. So other roller coasters that I've built in other parks, which you may catch in my last video, which I posted up on Poltergeist, that has quite high stats. And it's because I spend a lot of time figuring out what I should put in and stuff like that. So when I tend to build a roller coaster, it actually takes me probably about a week and a half to get it to where I'm happy with it. And I spend another probably about half a week to maybe a week on the actual scenery. So now what I'm actually going to do, because actually from that first test video we just done, I'm going to smooth out a bit more for you the parts. So say here I felt it was a little jittery. So that will bring it in a bit smoother, and I felt here was also just a bit too jittery. So let's give that a test and let's see what it looks like. Yeah, that's a little bit better, and I'm happy with that. They're all in green. Not the highest excitement that I've got, but we'll work with it. This is a roller coaster just to show you how I do things and how I plan and think of a way to go forward from where I am. So here's the stats. 70.8 seconds duration. It only has 2 counts of airtime. And here's the other one. So the biggest drop is actually this one, which is 35 meters. Max speed is 60. But this is something that you would class as like a family roller coaster or something like that. Like I said, if you go check my previous video of Planet Coasters, actually my Poltergeist roller coaster, which is on another part that I'm building. So if you guys want to see me building that park, leave a comment below, let me know. Or if you want to see me to start doing some scenarios and stuff, yep, leave me a comment, let me know what you want me to do. If you have any ideas on what type of roller coasters you'd like me to try and build, I do try. Yeah, just let me know. And that's that. So what we'll be doing, this is a new series. There's a new series of games I'm going to be playing, which is Planet Coaster. I'm going to be doing some City Skylines at some point, and obviously I've been playing Sea Thieves. So I'm going to be coming up with a week schedule, so I'm thinking of releasing a Planet Coaster video every Wednesday, Call of Duty or City Skylines on a Monday, and then a live stream of a game either on a Friday or Saturday. And then the Sunday would be the best clip of the week from that live stream. If there's anything else you guys want me to see play or to try and get involved in, just leave a comment below. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell button, keep up to date with my videos, and I'll catch you guys next time.